Okay, it's day 184. I tried YouTube live stream just a couple of minutes ago and it didn't, it wasn't too easy. So I think maybe we're going to go to Periscope or something like that. But I have a great internet connection here in Fort Wayne, so I don't know what happened to the live stream, but I'll figure it out. But somebody did ask a question about Fruit of the Poisonous Tree and the Joe Arpaio case, and so I thought I'd just answer it with a video. I think the important part of, for those who don't know, Fruit of the Poisonous Tree is if you're finding something during an investigation that's incriminating someone, but that's not what you were looking for. It's kind of like this fruit that you gained illegally. Therefore, it cannot be used to prosecute someone else. And that's what Joe Arpaio is saying is, hey, you can't prosecute me with something that was intended in an investigation for somebody else. But what it brought up was this case of Dennis Montgomery. And Dennis Montgomery, for those who don't know, was a CIA contractor. And basically what they were trying to do between Brennan, Brennan from the CIA and Clapper from the NSA and NGA, they were trying to geolocate data. I don't think this story is broke yet about this geolocation. The key, with all these phone calls that they gave this contractor, Clapper and Brennan, was to geolocate them, because you could then put two people in the same place. You could figure out drug dealers or terrorist deals, or if you were targeting political enemies, you could figure out who went to what meeting, and then you could plant a bunch of nasty things on their computers and say they were child porn people or whatever. And so a reporter, Cheryl Atkinson, accused Brennan and Clapper of doing exactly that, putting stuff on her computer to basically discredit her for a news story. So unfortunately, like all these kind of what I call the DynCorp descending staircase, they all start out as really great ideas, but then they kind of rapidly go into the bouges, sort of like a descent into Dante's Inferno. But if you're not familiar with the case, they gave Dennis Montgomery 600 million emails. They tried to geolocate them. I thought that this NGA story was going to bust with the Devin Nunes stuff, because Devin Nunes, the two whistleblowers that gave him the information on the White House grounds about 2 weeks ago and so forth, I believe were NGA folks. I think they were Springfield, Virginia, Leesburg Road, NGA folks, and I thought they were going to bust the story. This would be every bit as big as Snowden was to the NSA. These two guys would have been the two individuals would have been to the NGA. So anyway, there was a supercomputer that they had called the Hammer. They were going to, Clapper has background in the NGA. He was obviously in the Vietnam Air Force general trying to figure out the footprints of the enemies. This footprints of the enemy has long been an ambition of the Pentagon and CIA, NGA, etc. And of course, it's very effective if you have a domestic surveillance program as well, or a domestic harassment program, because it allows you to control your assets that you're using to harass, or control your assets that you're using to surveil. So bottom line, I'm not a legal expert, so I don't really know the answer to the fruit of the poisonous tree, but I do think it brings up a great new revelation that's about ready to occur. And I think this is going to go back to Andrew McCabe again, because the guy was actually ordering all these things and ordering it up. He's not the technical expert that's gathering it, but he's the kind of guy on the street that's using it against Hillary's enemies, and then Hillary's friends' enemies, and then Hillary's friends' business competitors, and it just keeps going downhill now to car dealers in Cleveland. So I still think the story's going to break. I think the Devin Nunes thing, the more they push it, the more they push Brennan. Brennan's going to push back. I think there's a wedge now between Brennan and McCabe, and so I don't think Brennan's going to go down easily. And so I think McCabe is going to have to come clean here any moment. But so Dennis Montgomery was discredited. I think they had 20 people going to a casino and all simultaneously asked for chips, and he had to declare bankruptcy. They ruined him. I think he's still alive. I'm pretty sure he's still alive. But we'll see where the story goes. But that's my answer to the fruit of the poisonous tree.